Welcome, Crafty Friends. Annie Collins here. Today we're going to be creating with the Owl Always Be Your Friend stamp and die set. This die has 23 pieces, 17 dies, 1 stamp. I say pieces because some of these dies cut 2 or more pieces. This is going to create this cute little wizard owl. This is from the Wizard release. And I already cut my pieces. So I have my card base here, my layering cardstock in that maroon color. And for my background, I stenciled it with, I used a star stencil with some glitter paste to create my background. I'm going to start with our die cut pieces. I have them all here. This is the little owl. And I cut them out from 2 different shades of gray cardstock. So I have this lighter shade here, which is his face, where his eyes will be. And I love these dies because they have little indentations as to where everything lines up and goes. So here are the eye background, and this is the eye topper. So those cut out. There's 1 die for each, and they cut out both pieces for each layer. So this is the little card or the little envelope that comes with this die set. It has the score lines for you. You just fold them on the score line. You can close your envelope or leave it open and put a little message in there, which would be a cute addition. So I'm going to bring in some gray ink. I'm going to bring in some distress ink just to put some inking around the edges of my pieces. This is just going to, give a little more oomph to our die cut pieces. So I'm just going to take them with a little distress tool here and just go all around the edges like so. And there are some etched pieces here where you can see these little feathers. I'm going to just rub this just on there so it catches on the high ridges of those, impressed areas. Again, just go around the edge. I'll do the same thing to the face one so it blends in nicely with the background. There you go, just going all around. So for the most part, I used the light gray, dark gray, and black cardstock and just white cardstock for the scarf and the little envelope. I kept that simple. So I'm going to do the same thing here with the wing. It's the same. Where it's raised, I just rub a little bit more on there. And now I'm going to bring in the beak and the 2 little feet or claws. This is an owl. And I cut those out of white cardstock. And I'm going to bring in a alcohol marker and color them in. Because I may have 100 plus pieces of cardstock in my craft room, but then I did not have a golden yellow, not even a scrap left of it. So I chose to color them with marker. So I'm going to go ahead and start building our owl. I'm going to pop up his head. But this tells you exactly where to line it up. It's super easy to line everything up. But before I pop up his head, I am going to glue the back of his hat. Now the hat comes in 2 pieces. So you can do one like a darker shade and one in a lighter shade because the one is the back piece of the hat. And there are lines to let you know where exactly the head should sit. Now, I fussed more with this than I needed to because 1, I overglued. That was a me thing. That's not a default of the die. That's a default of Annie. I put a little too much glue here, so I'm wiping it off. And it wasn't sitting how I wanted. I wasn't paying attention because there are indication lines here to help you line it up. If you follow the indication lines, you line everything up perfectly. No fuss. But I didn't. I was not paying attention. Now I adhered the face and then I realized this isn't sitting right. So now I take it apart and I glue it again. Again, this is a me thing, not a die thing. So I just keep fussing with it until I get it how I want it. I think I do better here lining it up. And then once I get it how exactly I want it to be, we will move on to the rest of our owl. Here I go. And I do get some glue on my hat and I do clean it. I'll show you quickly how I do that. I think this is it. Finally, I get it straight. See, now I'm paying attention and I realize, oh, I just need to line these little lines up right here. And bam, perfect. So to clean up the glue, I'm just going to use my Mono Sand eraser. That's a little sandy part there. And it just clears up any of the glue that's I put all over everything. There we go. Now he's good. Now I'm going to put some foam adhesive on the back of him. And just grabbing that, putting it on the back. There we go. Because I want his head popped up and one of his little wings popped up. So I'm going to pop that up real quick. Line it up. And press in place. Now for the eyes, well, I guess I do the wings first. So I'm going to adhere one wing directly to the body, and the other wing, I will just pop it up. This is when I realized I didn't finish his face. I need to finish his face. So I get his little beak, and on that lighter gray piece, there are indent lines that get indented into the die cut once you run it through your die cutting machine that lets you know exactly where to place everything. Everything's thought out for you. So it's super easy, super quick to put together. So I put the little beak on, I put the little feet, and now I'm popping up this other little wing. And I want it popped up because I'm going to tuck the little envelope just below his little wing here. So I'm going to create the little envelope. All I'm going to do is glue I glue it all shut because I'm not putting anything in it. I'll show you that in a moment. First, I realized, eyes are needed. So there are two pieces for each eye. So they're layered, the background and then the front. I chose big black eyes. You can choose any color you would like. That would be this part right here that I'm layering on top. And then it has little cutouts, a little circle and a little like diamond to give you that little sparkle in your eye for each of them. So I'm going to adhere this, push it against really well, and then I can put my liquid adhesive on the little area to let me know where it goes. So there we go. Got that how I want it. I want to make sure I turn them the correct way. And if you ever are not sure, you can check the back of the package. There's always an image there letting you know what it should look like. See right there. So I'm going to place those little eyes down, press them in place. Now that they're set, I can adhere our little envelope. I'm just going to glue it shut. It's so simple. It cuts out and it even puts the score lines for you. Then you just fold each end up in, and then the bottom one up, then the top one down, press in place, and now you have a sealed envelope. And there is even a die that cuts the wax seal for you. So I'm going to go ahead and place that on top, press it in place, and now this little envelope I will glue on our little owl here, tucking just beneath his one arm and his chin, like so. Look how cute. That is adorable. So now I'm going to bring in the scarf. The scarf, I went ahead and cut it also out of white cardstock, and we're going to color them in using alcohol markers. So I used this golden yellow and then a red, like a maroony color red, to color these. So there are, when you cut the pieces, because there are 3 pieces for your scarf, there's the part that goes around the neck, then the fold over, and then the little tassels, the little fringe edge. There are indication lines. There are little indent lines. That's what I'm tracing over, and then I fill it in. That's how I know how perfectly spaced everything is, because it's already done for me. Now I'm going to do the same thing, fill it in with the golden color in the areas that are left behind. That's it. And if they blend a little bit, the 2 colors, that's perfectly fine, because when you're knitting, it would blend from one color to the other. So there we go, adding the last of it. I'm going to do the last red stripes in here. Let me flip it so I can hold it better. And then I have to color the little tassel or the fringe of my scarf. There we go. And now to adhere it, I'm going to just adhere the little fringe first. Right there. Just follow the indication lines. they're tiny pieces, but they work out perfectly. And then I'm just filling in any little spots I missed. Now that it's all put together, there we go. We're going to adhere it to our little owl. I'm going to tuck the one that wraps around the neck, just like so, overlapping the little envelope. So put a little adhesive, tuck it just so, making sure that it overlaps our envelope, nestled nicely. And then this little piece, I'm going to adhere it right here, right above that little wing there, and tilt it just so. Look how cute this is. I think it's adorable. Now, if I'm going to add a little extra twinkle to my eyes, I'll do that in a bit. I'm going to add a little Nouveau drops in there. For our sentiment, this die set comes with its own sentiment. It reads, Owl, always be your friend, which is the name of the die set. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right onto this little piece of white cardstock. I've already die cut with a torn paper die from my stash. I did the same thing for the background. So I'm going to ink this up, and I'll do it twice so I get a nice even coverage. I want it to be nice and, crisp. So cleaning my hands and everything because I'm inky. I'm sticky inky right now. All right. So I'm going to make this more cohesive. I'm going to ink the edges as well on this. So I'm going to use the same gray ink I was using before, and I'm going to go all around this little sentiment block here. So I'm just going to go around all the edge, putting a little extra if needed. And I want it to look just like that, little haphazard, little rustic. Now I'm going to take my piercing tool and I'm going to curl just the two corners, one on the top left and one on the bottom right. There we go. Almost like this has been unveiled or unrolled to read the message. So I'm just curling it like you do curling your Christmas ribbon. All right, so now I have that. I'm going to ink that just a little bit more because if it's curled, it would have a little ink on that end. And here are our pieces. Now to build our card. I start out with adhering the layering cardstock and my background together. So I'm using a little bit of liquid adhesive here to put these together. Gonna center this, and this also I used a torn edge die from my stash so that it all matches. Okay, and now this release is so cute. It has like a lot of cute wizards and to go with this. And of course, the scarf you color as per your favorite house. All right, so I'm going to adhere our sentiment right straight down here. And then I'm going to put some liquid adhesive behind our owl. Except for the hat, I'm going to add a little foam adhesive here because remember we popped it up. So it needs to be a little more even so it doesn't buckle. And I'm going to place his little claws right there so that it looks like he's holding the message. All right, so now I'm going to bring in some Nouveau drops. You can have Nouveau drops, stickles, Wink Stella, whichever you prefer. I'm just going to add it to those little openings of the eyeballs there. Just add a little more sparkle because the background sparkly, so our little owl needs to have some sparkle as well. Also going to add little highlights to his hat just to make it more festive. There we go. And now our card is complete. I didn't put anything extra on here, other embellishments, because there is a lot of glittery with the glitter background. Super cute. I love how this turned out. This again is the Owl Always Be Your Friend die and stamp from Pixi Dust. This is from the new Wizards release. Here's another look at our card. Thank you for being here, and I hope you found some inspiration.